What's up, guys? Josh&Jablonca here, and today's video is me and Josh's first podcast. It was kind of like all over the place because we were kind of like on a time crunch. Josh had to work, so we didn't really get in all we wanted to get in. But we talked about our college football playoff seeding predictions and our overall NBA predictions for the season. I hope you guys like the podcast. Enjoy. What's up, guys? It's Josh&Jablonca here. And today I'm with Josh. Say hi, Josh.
What's up?
All right, so first topic is going to be our CFB playoff seeding predictions. So my final four, or my number one, is going to be Alabama at 11-0 because I have them beating Florida because, yeah, Florida lost to LSU, which was embarrassing. So I just have Alabama as my number one. I have Clemson as my number two. I have them beating Notre Dame to win the ACC, so I think they'll be number two. At number three, I have Ohio State, and literally as we were recording this, they won the Big Ten, so they'll probably 100% be in the playoffs. And then as my four seed, I had it down between two teams. At four, I had Notre Dame at 10-1, because I think they could still be like in the conversation even if they do lose to Clemson. And then I also wrote down Texas A&M as another team, but I think in the end it'll just end up being Notre Dame as the four. And yeah, that's my final four predictions. What do you got, Josh?
All right, for my damn it. Okay, so my top four, number one, Alabama. I think that, yeah, pretty much that's the universal number one. Yeah. Number two, I also have Clemson beating Notre Dame. So, Clemson gets the 2 seed. Number three, Ohio State. Because, yeah, they just won today. And, yeah, no one thinks, people are debating if they should get in or not. And then for my 4 seed, honestly, I'm gonna go with a dark horse here, and I'm just gonna say Cincinnati. They deserve it. They're not gonna get it, but they should get it. Cincinnati deserves that 4 seed because they are undefeated.
Yeah.
If Ohio State can get in, Cincinnati can get in.
I'd agree with that. I didn't even think about that because for some reason their CFB ranking is 9, which is stupid as hell. But whatever.
Yeah.
If they beat Tulsa tonight, I think they should have a good chance at making it, especially if Notre Dame does lose to Clemson.
Oh yeah.
And I also wrote down Coastal Carolina as a joke, but since they're not playing their conference game, they're 100% not going to make it. They had 0 chance before, now they're really not going to make it.
Rip.
Yeah. All right, next we got our NBA conference predictions. For the West, as a 15 seed, I have the Thunder because I think they're going to be awful this year. They literally trade away all their talent besides Gilgeous-Alexander because they're clearly tanking. They have 600 first-round picks. Yeah. Number 14, I have the Sacramento Kings. I want to believe the Kings could be good this year, but they haven't really gotten any better. So I just have them at 14. The Spurs at 13. It's really low, but they didn't get any better this offseason. And DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge aren't getting any younger, so I have them at 13. At 12, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're still really young. Anthony Edwards is going to have a good year, in my opinion, but I just don't think with the West they could make the playoffs. If they were in the East, I could see them making the playoff, like maybe a playoff run, but definitely not in the West. At 11, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. I think this is going to be a big development year for Zion, but besides that, I don't really see the team being very successful. Number 10, I kind of have a surprise pick of the Jazz. I don't think the Jazz got any better this offseason, and I feel like there's still lingering problems between Gobert and Donovan Mitchell that'll set them back this year. Um, then at number 9, I have the Grizzlies. I think they'll come pretty close to making it this year with Ja and all their young talent, but I think they'll end up like at the end they'll just end up missing the playoffs. And then at 8, I got the Warriors. I think they would have been a lot higher on the list if Klay Thompson was healthy, but they still have Curry. If Curry gets hurt, they're not making the playoffs. Like, they're not going to be good. But with Curry, I still think they have a chance to make the playoffs. At 7, I have the Trailblazers. I think Damian Lillard, being a potential MVP candidate this year, can put them in the playoffs. 6, I have the Phoenix Suns. The Suns have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and they've honestly just gotten better. And they went undefeated in the bubble, which was pretty insane, and still missed the play-in, which was unfortunate. But they're gonna be good this year, I think.
Yeah.
Number 5, Houston Rockets. Uh, I think Harden's on his way out, and if he gets traded to Philly for Ben Simmons, I think Houston wins the trade because Ben Simmons is a stud. He's not good at scoring like Harden was, but Ben Simmons is still a really good NBA player, and I think they'll still be a 5th seed even after the trade. At 4, I have the Dallas Mavericks because Luka Doncic is looking like one of the next best NBA players in the league. And if Porzingis is healthy and their team's healthy, that team could be really scary going into the offseason. At 3, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. I just I have no faith in Kawhi and Paul George getting things done there. Like I feel like they were almost clear favorites to win the title going into last year, and like even though they won games, they couldn't really get it done in the playoffs. At number 2, I have the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray and Jokic are scary when they're playing good together, and I think they're besides the Clippers, I think they're the only team that have a shot at winning in the West. And at number 1, I have the Lakers. I think they're the clear number 1 in the West at this point. They're really good, and they retained Anthony Davis in the offseason, so I think they're
And
gonna end up,
Anderson.
yeah.
All right. So my Western power rankings are number 15, I have the Thunder. Yeah, they're tanking. Number 14, I have the Timberwolves. I don't really know much about the Timberwolves, honestly. I haven't been as invested in basketball in the off season as I normally am, so yeah, I don't know. 13, it's the Kings. Like, yeah, they haven't done anything of note. Yeah, they're just bad, honestly. They should just relocate. They should just get relocated to Seattle. Like,
That
wow.
that'd be cool.
Just
Hot
just fantasy booking the NBA now.
hot
Um,
hot take for the next podcast.
number 12, I have the San Antonio Spurs. Um, they're not like tanking, but I don't know. I just don't feel like they're nearly good enough to really contend. Number 11, I have the Rockets just because I don't know. I just like James Harden's still on the team, but um, I don't know. It's just dysfunctional, and I just don't really think that. Like Harden still might play good, but I don't know if the rest of the team is really going to rally around him as much because he obviously wants out. So I just see him getting off to a very slow start, and I just think that this might be a sloppy season for them.
Yeah.
Um, Number 10 is the Pelicans. Really depends on if Zion can stay healthy and if all the pieces around him continue developing, really. Um, Number 9, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. Um, yeah, good young team. Obviously, it's just going to depend on if their young talent can continue carrying them. Um, Number 8, I have the Phoenix Suns. Uh, Still wasting Devin Booker's career, but yeah, I don't know. They they could contend for an 8 seed. Number 7, I have the Trailblazers. I don't really have much to say about them either. um, Number 6, I have the Dallas Mavericks. Number 5, I have the Utah Jazz. Number 4, I have the Warriors, even though they lost Klay Thompson, but they still have Curry coming back, and I don't know. I feel like they're not going to be a top 3 seed, but they'll definitely rebound decently. Number 3, I have the Clippers. They're a good team, but yeah, like you said, just no. I just they just don't seem like they're ready for deep playoff runs, especially with all the crap surrounding Kawhi and getting special treatment and whatever, and some players not liking that, and it's just and then number 1, Lakers. I mean, who else? Like
I'm
you're
guessing
really
two. I'm guessing two is the Nuggets then.
oh, I skipped. Yes, yeah. Number 2 is Nuggets. Number 1's the Lakers. The Nuggets are a good team, and the Lakers are just a clear and cut number 1 favorite.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they extended LeBron. They kept AD. They have a whole new wave of ring chasers. You know.
All right. Next, we got the East rankings. Um, my number 15 is the Detroit Pistons. I think they're awful. I think they're in a complete rebuild stage, in my opinion. Like, they had a good draft, but man, they like they really didn't gain anything. Like, they signed Mason Plumlee to a long term deal. Like, that's awful. Anyways, number 14, I got the Knicks. Like, Obi Toppin's a certified starter as their draft pick, but I don't think that's gonna make him any better. Um, 13, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers. This team's kind of in purgatory after LeBron left. I just don't see them getting any better. They have a really if they get rid of Love, like trade Love away for assets, maybe I could see them being a little better, but like they're just kind of like stuck in the past. I think all Cavs fans obviously miss LeBron. Um, Number 12 is the Orlando Magic. Usually they're like eighth seed every year, but they haven't gotten any better in my eyes, and I think the teams ahead of them have gotten better. Um, Number 11, I have the Chicago Bulls. They they're really young, and I think in like maybe a year or so they could be a playoff team, but they're still so young and trying to figure things out. Number 10, I have the Charlotte Hornets. Them signing Gordon Hayward and drafting LaMelo definitely gonna put pin on their name throughout the season because literally every sports Instagram talks about LaMelo. Like, he could literally do like a simple crossover and it'll be on a highlight tape the next day on an Instagram thing.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. Number 9, I have the Washington Wizards. For how much I don't like Russell Westbrook and how cocky he is and whatnot, I think he's gonna help Washington a lot this year. Not saying that John Wall was bad, but he was injured 2 years in a row, which didn't help him. And I think putting Westbrook along with Beal and like the rest of the younger talent will at least like put him in the playoff picture. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs though. Number 8, I have the Indiana Pacers. They didn't really improve this offseason. Hopefully Brogdon can stay healthy for him this year because I think that's one of their main assets besides like Miles Turner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I have the Atlanta Hawks. Those dang Hawks took Bogey from us. Made me big sad, but it's just gonna make them better. I think they could be one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league with Trae Young and Bogdanovich now. And I'm probably forgetting someone on their team that's really good, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Um, Number 6, I have the Toronto Raptors. Not that they're a bad team, but I just think with how much more competitive the East is going to be this year, I think the Raptors are just going to be a 6th seed. Number 5, I have the Miami Heat. They're they're a really interesting team. They made the finals, obviously, but I think the bubble kind of helped them a little bit. And man, Miami Heat fans are down bad right now. That I almost said Zion, that Giannis signed with the Bucks, because that's all they talked about all off season is just trying to get Giannis, and I don't really know where they go from here, but they surely got a lot of good players on their team. Number 4, I have the Brooklyn Nets. I think once it becomes playoff time, they won't like look like a 4 seed, but with Kyrie and Durant probably taking like rest games during the year, I think they'll end up losing those rest games, which will overall put them down to the 4 seed. But I think they're gonna be playoff contenders for sure. Number 3, I have the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum looks like he's gonna be a really good player in this league, and I don't really know if they got. I mean, they got Tristan Thompson as their center now, which is decent because they need a center all year. But I think that just puts them at 3. Number 2, I have the Sixers. This team's gonna be good this year if Joel and Ben Simmons can stay healthy. I think they're gonna be a really scary team in the playoffs. And number 1, I have Milwaukee. And it's not me being a biased Milwaukee Bucks fan. I just think with Giannis being committed to the Bucks now and with all their new like younger players and veterans off the bench, I think they'll end up getting the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your rankings?
All right, so mine's a little bit different. At number 15, I have the Cavs. Just, I don't know. They just don't have a very much of a direction. Uh, Number 14, I have the Knicks. Yeah, just young, rebuilding the Knicks.
Pretty much every
Number
year.
thir- Number 13, I have the other bottom feeder, which is the Pistons. And honestly, between those three, it's just a toss up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I to me, you could argue it whatever way in any order. But these three teams, they're all garbage in my opinion. Just trash. Number 12, I have the Hornets. Um, yeah, just like
LaMelo
they
Ball.
might, yeah, Lamelo Ball. They and Terry Rozier. I mean, they might contend for an 8 seed at best, but
Yeah.
I don't really.
Their
So
their
number
ceiling
one,
their ceiling's an 8 seed. That's what I was gonna say. I don't think they get any
yeah.
better.
Um, Number 11, I have the Chicago Bulls, just a young rebuilding team. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not a very interesting at least to me. Like I have seen absolutely zero things about them
Yeah.
so far this season. Number 10, the Orlando Magic. Number 9, the Washington Wizards. I think the Wizards could have a really good year, or they could just have a really mediocre year. So, yeah, the Wizards are really just a toss up between like 40 to 50 wins for me, honestly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That Number 8, I have the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. Just really gonna be depending on their key pieces. Um, they could get higher than an 8 seed, but that's just where I have them at. I think they're a pretty safe choice for the 8 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I have the 76ers. The process is dead. Abort. like like they I don't know. I know the 76ers are going to hold on for dear life to be competitive, but if they were smart, they would blow it up now, which I get their wouldn't want to see, but it's over. Like it's failed. Like they're at best like a 7 or 8 seed, maybe a 6 seed, but they're not making it out of the first round playoffs.
Yeah, I have them at 2 because I don't know. It really depends on how Embiid and Simmons play. If Simmons can shoot, they'd be a lot better. But
I,
Simmons
yeah,
is a one-sided player.
yeah. My thing on Embiid and Simmons together are good. Problem is Simmons or Embiid cannot stay healthy. Like he only plays like 50 games, something like that a year. Like, and Ben Simmons cannot carry the team on his own. Like I
No.
don't know. I'm very critical of them, but whatever.
They need criticism. Now that
Yeah.
with
Number
Doc Rivers as their coach, like they're probably gonna get like an easy way out, but I feel like they need criticism if they're gonna be good this year because I feel like they're gonna be really
Yeah.
cocky going into the season.
So I will be sitting on the side of them, um, backsliding. Um, but still being in the playoff contention. Um, number uh Number 6, I have the Atlanta Hawks. Um, um, yeah, they have the potential to have one of the best offenses in the league this year. Just might be exciting to see. Um, um, Number 5, I have the Boston Celtics. Just they're a good team, but I just don't feel like they can really make it out of the second this year. I just have a gut feeling. Like I don't know. Like Kemba Walker's a god and all, but yeah.
Yeah, they need to get him
Um,
healthy because he's injured right now. But
oh yeah, that's right.
so
Yeah, so without Kemba, I don't know. Like they're a good team, but they're not elite tier of the East.
yeah,
And I think another team that kind of goes along with them is the Toronto Raptors. They're a good team, but and I feel like the Raptors could potentially make a deep playoff run, not to like the final, maybe to the conference finals. Um, but yeah, I feel like the Raptors could be good. Honestly, the Knicks and the Raptors are kind of a toss up to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. Number 3, I have the Knicks. Yeah, I mean,
the Knicks.
it, or Nets.
I
Jesus.
was like, what?
Yeah, my lord. Yeah, the Nets. They have KD and Kyrie back. Obviously, not probably for the whole year. I feel like they could get the 3 seed. So yeah. Number 2, I have the Heat. Obviously, them and Milwaukee are the two top tier teams in the East. It's probably going to come down to them again. Like if it goes as probably will, it'll probably end up being Milwaukee versus Miami, and I just have Miami being the 2 seed, Milwaukee being the 1 seed, and I feel like Milwaukee, you know, in a 7-game series could potentially win.
Mm-hmm.
Miami could also win. It's just a toss-up. So those are my top 2 teams. Even though the Bucks didn't get everything they wanted in the offseason, they still improved the team.
Yeah. Now we got awards. So for MVP, it was kind of a toss-up. I wrote down my kind of who I thought were gonna be in the MVP conversation. I wrote down Giannis, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, and Damian Lillard. And I think that this is kind of like a wild card pick. I don't think many people are gonna pick this, but I have Anthony Davis winning the MVP. I think with LeBron resting probably a lot more than Anthony Davis will this season, I think Anthony Davis is gonna show how great he is. He's a really good player in my opinion, and I think with the Lakers being really good this year, I think he's gonna show that even more. Who do you got winning MVP?
Yeah, same. Anthony Davis. Maybe in the West, it's just Anthony Davis to me. And if you had to pick someone from the studio, Butler. But to me, yeah, it's Anthony Davis. It's a cut favorite to be.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut out big time there. You were like Anthony Davis is clear cut, and then it just went dead silent. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
basically, I just said Anthony Davis is the clear-cut favorite.
yeah,
In the East, the only I don't know who can in the West. Honestly, Anthony Davis is probably just gonna have a godly year, and in the East, it would either be Giannis or Jimmy buckets, but
yeah.
it's probably gonna be Davis if I had to put my money on.
I don't see any way in hell Giannis wins 3 in a row. So
No, but I'm just throwing it out there because obviously he's
yeah,
won 2 in a row. But yeah,
obviously Giannis will be in contention unless he just has Michael Jordan number like I'm at Michael Jordan prime, but he's a big man. Maybe Shaq numbers. Like when Shaq won MVP, if he even won MVP. I might just be throwing that on my ass, but let me look real quick. Because now I want to know if I'm an idiot or not. I feel like he won MVP. Maybe he won Finals MVP. No, he won MVP with the Lakers, of course. Because yeah. Anyways, so we both got Anthony Davis winning MVP. My defensive player of the year comes down to Giannis and Ben Simmons, and I think Giannis is gonna take it home again this year, in my opinion. Who do you have winning defensive player of the year?
Tough. I mean, hmm. I mean, I have a few names, but yeah, Giannis is the clear cut favorite. Um, I mean, maybe I don't know who else would. I mean, maybe Anthony Davis takes it home too. I don't know. That could happen, but
Yeah, it's possible.
yeah, I'll just go with this cut. Yeah, I don't really know. Giannis is just a beast, and I don't know who else is really on that level.
Yeah. For rookie of the year, I have LaMelo Ball. I think just because he's already arguably the best player on the Hornets. So yeah.
Yeah, and the public. I put him down too, just because he's gonna get all the media attention. If he
Hmm.
plays even mildly okay, he'll conversation. So yeah, Lamelo's just the
Yeah. All
and
right.
he has the ball name, so
Mm-hmm. Um, and just
assuming that
wrote
he's not a
what?
bust. I said
Yeah.
assuming that he's not a bust.
Yeah.
Which
And
could happen.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want him to be good or if I want him to be a bust. I think he's gonna be better than Lonzo, honestly, because Lonzo's just an assist machine. I think LaMelo can score a
Yeah.
lot better than him. So
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. And then real quickly, just to get moving here, as a sixth man of the year, I have Lou Williams. He's always a safe bet. Who do you have as sixth man?
Taking the cheap way out, I'm going one of the Lakers, and honestly, I'm just going to say Montrezl Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lakers are loaded, so
Yeah.
it might it could be someone else from the Lakers, like their top like 9 players. Honestly,
Yeah.
like yeah, it could all be realistically start on like somewhere in the NBA. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't.
And then
I'll just say one of the Lakers.
okay. Okay, and then for the last, I don't really feel like going through all the NBA teams that I wrote down, but for most improved player, I wrote down 3 players. I wrote down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kobe White, and Michael Porter Jr. And I'm gonna pick Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because he is the only player on the Thunder that I could honestly name off the top of my head, and he's gonna be a stud in the NBA. It's really unfortunate that he's stuck on the Thunder this year, but once the Thunder get out of their like tank phase, I think they could be pretty good. Who do you have for most improved?
All right, I'm gonna kind of go for some crazy thing here, but I'm predicting that the Hawks put up so many points that it puts Trae Young in the conversation, and that when he does not win it, but like he gets like 5th or something, and that wins him the most improved player.
That wouldn't shock me in the slightest, because
But
Trae
I
Young's a
could see
stud.
yeah, I could see the Hawks offense just hitting like the 5th gear this year, and really, yeah, and Trae Young really being at the forefront of it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is post editing Brewsta. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. I know it was kind of all over the place. The editing was iffy. It's 11 o'clock at night. This video took a while to edit, and I'm not gonna put up some sob story about, oh, this took forever to edit, like blah blah blah. But it would mean a lot if you guys could press the like button and even press the subscribe button. More content coming soon. Tomorrow, me and Josh are gonna film the TLC 2020 predictions. Expect that to come up tomorrow. And also the Carolina Panthers franchise off-season and preseason highlight tape. So thank you guys for watching. Brewsta out.